golly, somebody spit on me. Let's get it. Let's go. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. We had our first, was it our first scrimmage? I want to say, no, I guess not. I guess it's the second one. The first one, the Florida Victoria. Either way, we had another scrimmage. We got some notes from boots on the ground. We got some alums coming back. We had Chris Leak on yesterday. If you haven't seen that, what are you doing here? Lock and load, get in after that, boys and girls. We got a lot to go over. Football's here. I mean, what are we, a Saturday and a half away? Cody, what are we looking at, big guy? Good to see you, man. How many Saturdays we got? Two?
2 Saturdays.
2 Saturdays. That's it. Hang on. There we go. Now we're back. 2 Saturdays, and we're going to be rocking and rolling, man. It is going to be an absolute blast, if you will. And I'm going to be fired up. I'm already fired up, but I'm going to be more fired up once this season gets rocking and rolling. Boys are slinging the rock, and I'm going to be pumped. Good weekend?
For sure. Before we start this, I wanted to get into that. You'd be pretty proud of the old nephew. Listen, had some injuries, and he is officially the starting guard. He is also the smallest guard in the league and went up against the best defensive tackle in the league and put him in an absolute box. The kid had 0 tackles.
So we were just going over your height, right? We were talking about drivers and whatnot. Mylon isn't like he doesn't have another dad, right? Where he's got like the milkman's not his pop. You're his dad.
100%.
Yeah, like he's not cracking 5'5", but maybe 5'6".
His grandfather's 6'7".
Okay, you think he's tapping into that?
I'm praying. I'm praying he taps in a little bit of that. 5'11", we get there, baby. We'd be D1, 5'11".
Every time I love it. Every time I hear what what little man's doing, it's like he's always on the line. I'm like, do they not see his size? The guy's 5'5" with the heart of a 6'7" lineman. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You gotta love it. If he grows into it, by golly, he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, absolute dog. I couldn't be more proud of him. The kid smacked him in the back of the helmet because he got so frustrated in the fourth quarter. I mean, put him in a box, and on the defensive line, had a couple tackle for losses off the edge there. Got rolled up with he's limping a hurt ankle. He got rolled up in the second quarter, played through it. You know, dad wasn't taking him off the field. You ain't coming off the field, big dog. Ain't broke. You're in there. And it was pretty swollen up by the fourth quarter, but kept digging. And absolutely super proud of him with a little Iowa football. 7-6 was the winning score.
Oh, there it is. Cody loves those.
And he knocked a kid out on kickoff. So I mean, just an absolute day.
He's a fiery one. He's a fierce one.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Well, boys and girls, I was thinking about this the other day because obviously I got my Beat LIU shirt in, which I was pretty pumped about. It looks awesome. If you guys want to get one, you got a couple days to get it there in time. I got it here within a week. The staff has been on par for getting out the merch. Just got the fresh new hat in. Pretty pumped about it. Fits good, looks good, feels good. Played golf in it today, crushed it. It's a little wet still. Got rained on, but it dried out pretty nicely. So anybody was wondering how the material is, pretty solid. But I was thinking about LIU, man, and the expectation is going to be to either put up 100 or 90 or 60 or 70. And as much as I would love to put up 80, in all reality, like we know how this offense runs, right? And I'm not making excuses. I'm going to circle back. So just bear with me for a second. I don't really care about the score as much. I just want to see pure dominance because they're going to run the hell out of the football, which I want them to, which then I think will in turn allow for this team to do what they want to do. Slowly just drain the life of the other team away. So it could be 14-0 first quarter, but slowly start pecking away at it. I don't want LIU scoring a single point. I don't want them to get over the 50. My reason for these things are like, these are my expectations going into LIU. That's what I'm going to be looking at going into week 1. And we'll talk about it more, but I was just thinking about, I have my shower thoughts as we always do. I was like, look, man, like I know I'm the sunshine pumper and like to be optimistic, but like I've got expectations of like where this team should be. And again, I know it's LIU and we'll probably get into the secondary and that's fine. If we get into second team, that's fine. Good. They've been getting plenty of reps. I better see the same cohesion going into second team. You don't want to see a fall off either. I don't want to see that as well. So, again, random little thought that I wanted to just express with everybody. See how everyone else feels But again,
I I think that initially DJ Lagway and company might score 14 points, but I think Aiden Warner gets in there and puts another 21 on him. I mean, the
I'm
kid's
so
been
we're gonna talk
freaking
about today
spinning it.
some notes. Harrison Bailey seemed to be moving to the second slot here.
Oh,
So
over
yeah,
Aiden?
yeah, and Tramel Jones is making
we
some moves, which we're gonna get into.
Tramel Jones is also kind of cutting it up. It seems like it's tough. It's day by day, right? That's kind of that second quarterback position is wide open. I would say.
Let me see what my notes are. All right. My phone, boys, is all jacked up. I lost everybody's phone number. So I have the numbers, but for some reason there's no name. So I'm just looking at numbers. It's brutal.
Who dis?
Huh?
Who dis?
Yeah, it's tough. All right, let's go over the notes that I got from our boots on the ground. Offense had its moment, but defense won the day. You know, look, we've been kind of doing some studying for our college shows throughout the week, and that's kind of been the narrative across the floor. I feel like is that the defenses have been winning these scrimmages, and we talked to Stephen Harris like as they should. They should have an upper hand. They see this offense day in and day out. They can kind of scheme things out to be a little bit more aggressive. They can get away with a few more things. Like that's going to happen. That's just name of the beast. 88. Obviously, Banks was crashing out. Again, there was a couple of articles I saw, but this is from our guy here. I don't know if I can say his name, so I'm not going to. I'll ask him later. But backups held their own. Brendan Bett from Baylor, Tavarius Brown, Babachu, McLeod all played well. Those are great things to hear because, again, I think for outside of probably a week ago, and we had Zach Alberverdi on, the defensive line was a concern. And we continue to hear the success of what they're having. Obviously, we know we've heard great things about this offensive line, and we'll get into that as well, too. They had a good time. LJ was a no-go today. Well, walked around, though, so I don't think there's anything serious, but was moving around. Linebackers were good. No Pup, but which obviously we know he's been battling an injury. Miles, I love hearing this. Miles, Jaden, and Aaron all were solid. Aaron Childs was turning some heads as well from what I read at other places. 5, which is Miles, had another pick. Ty Jackson, our 4-star linebacker / 5-star linebacker, the number 1 overall linebacker at one point that we got this year, and the 3-star Miles Johnson, the once committed to Alabama, got some work today. So really good hearing that. Jaden Ball apparently had a big breakout for like 40 yards or something like that. That really got people like talking of like this kid is just something special. He's just an elusive young man. Outside of that, no big other plays. But again, the O-line had some good run in the later part of the practice. They put in some good drives in 2 minutes. QBs were able to work with intermittent routes effectively. DBs were sticky. You probably saw that the VB3 tutty, which obviously from Aiden Warner's. Let's see. The tackles, they feel comfortable with the tackles. The edge room is just very, very talented. Jalen Wiggins, a name we haven't spoke about too much, got some good run as well. He got in some of the NASCAR packages. I don't know what that is. But yeah.
Third down and long.
Okay. Mizzou and Nashon look good for young guys. So loved all that. Loved just hearing those positivities. Again, the vibe from multiple things that I read all seemed to be very optimistic. DJ Lagway, from what I saw, did not participate in 11-on-11s again, but still played in 7-on-7s. And a few people that wrote about that said is still continuing to look better. Like in a small form, continues to look sharper and more consistent from practice to scrimmage to practice, which is what you want to hear. You want to see that growth, even though he's not in the 7-on-7, he's not thrown behind the lines. Look, I think they feel comfortable enough of where he's at, to be quite honest with you, that they don't want to risk him running out there for no reason. I truly, genuinely believe that. I think that even with, I think some of the wide receivers didn't play today, like Mizell and Dallas, obviously he's out with the cast on his foot. So all those things, I still think we got to get through this and be healthy. That's going to be the biggest takeaway for me is as long as these guys can stay healthy and we can continue to make progress and look the part, then that's what I want to hear.
I can tell you this. I was on Jason's show last night for a little bit, and they have the same issues. Injury bug left and right. They feel like their sky is also falling. It's every team in all of college football has the same
They
narrative
have
of
some big
players
guys go
getting
down.
hurt. Not go down, but like walking boots, non-contact jerseys, wide receivers, a couple wide receivers, and they're already thin there. Offensive linemen, they had a offensive lineman in a boot. So the point is it's the same across college football, all in the same. Everybody is
Keldrick
freaking out
Falk,
about these
lineman for
injuries.
Auburn, didn't go, and he's an
Nope.
NFL talent. Again, the buzz doesn't feel to be a concern, but you know, you wonder how much has changed over the years with NIL and just wanting to stay healthy. How much of it that, especially the older players, are being extra precautionary than they ever have. I think with the amount of just technology and attention to details that these guys go into fall camp much more, I would say, in tune than maybe 7-10 years ago.
Well, also too, when you talk about DJ not participating in 11 on 11, that's where essentially uh, um, Nussmeier got hurt in 11 on 11. He fell or tripped, and
Yeah,
I
he has
think
patella
maybe they're just
tendonitis. Is that what it was?
yeah, maybe they're just trying to keep those big guys away from Lagway.
Yeah, patella tendonitis, from what I looked up, it's one of those kind of nagging injuries that can be severe. That it could just kind of last for too long because it's one of those weird things. Like, yeah, it's functional. You can walk around on it, but are you ever 100%? And you're never really that bad to where you can't do anything. So it's like, where do we sit by it? But yeah, glad it wasn't serious, but it's still definitely something
He got
to
stepped on, right? Is what the reports were. They got
I
stepped
think he
on,
tripped
maybe.
up on the guy behind him. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of wild. The report on
But
that was a bit much.
but something that only happens on 11 on 11 when those big bodies start smashing each other. You got limbs and legs and flailing around. You don't want that next to your quarterback.
Yeah, no, not at all. John Paul, look, and this is where my thought is exactly where I go. This fan base, if Florida's not up by 95, is going to go absolutely nuts. That it's the same old song and dance, and it's hard to put a lot of stock into that first game because as soon as it feels like it's in control, you're not going to want to show much more, and why would you? But at the same time, why I argue against that of this was my thought behind this, right? And I support John Paul in this because I'm thinking kind of like what Ole Miss did last year. You need to go out there and just absolutely level everybody. Be like FSU was in 2013. I saw a Jimbo clip where they were like, we dominated everybody. How Florida was, and that I think it was that '08 season after that Ole Miss game. They just dominated. Like we're not even gonna let you breathe for 5 seconds. I don't care. It's the first game. I don't care that it's LIU. Don't hit me with we don't want to give up or stop it. I love a quote where it's like, you want to be feared. Good. Let everybody know that we're coming. Like, don't hide away from it. No need for us to sneak up on anybody. Go out there and just handle your damn business. Just focus on what's the task in front of you. Each week, you should play as if it's Georgia, Texas. That should be your mindset, because if you go into week one of like, we're going to just lollygag through this, you're starting the season off with, I can be nonchalant. And now you're going to be possibly creating a bad habit of like, I can nonchalantly just go through this. Set a standard from Jump Street. Set a standard from the moment that you walk into that son of a gun and get after it. So to me, that's where I'm not, again, the score doesn't tell a whole story. So I'm not going to pinpoint it on a score because of how they function. But it should be 28 by half. But if it's like 24-21, I mean, I'm fine with it, because then they should probably put up another 30 in the second. That's 50-0. I'm fine. Like that's where I'm going to be at.
Yeah, I'm more excited to see the twos, really. Let's score, 14, 21 points, get DJ Lagway out of there quick. I'm ready to see the twos. I want Ball. I want him to get a couple carries, pull him. There's a lot of young players that need to make a name for themselves when it comes to playing competition. I think of just that running back room. I mean, you have the freshman back, Duke Clark. You have Daniels. He didn't get a whole lot of run last year. This is a good time for him. Obviously, Webb would have been a perfect spot, but he got banged up. I think this is a perfect time where maybe you're a 3 on the depth chart. You go out and ball out there in a game, and you might get another look at a 2 position. I think Nashawn Montgomery, another one, VB3. I think can get have a big game. I think that Mizell, a guy that has flashed at times but not been 100% consistent all the time, I think this is a perfect game that him and Aiden Warner could connect on some deep shots. I want to see more of the twos. I want to see what the depth is. It's like, you remember that Florida State Georgia game, the bowl game, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's a bowl game, it doesn't matter." No, that's showing you what's coming, right? That's what we both can agree on, and boy did it. Well, when you play these lower ranked teams, I'm not going to call them scrubs because there's still, there's some athletes out there. When you play these lower ranked teams, this is a good test for your twos and your threes, and to see what's coming down the pipe. And if you do have an injury, to see what the fall off is, or when the lights get bright, are they going to freak out? Are they getting the communication? Do they understand the defense?
I agree. And again, that doesn't take away from my point of, like, you should still smash their mouth. I don't care if it's a second or third. You should have that type of talent on your football team that it doesn't matter who you throw out there. You should be able to go out there and handle your business. Again, I think at the end of the day, we just care about a W. I understand that, but we have, there's things we've got to cross off in my eyes, right? Billy is coming in under a lot of scrutiny, and one of it is starting off slow. Another one is his ability to call game, have a good feel. Another one is obviously not win on the road. You can't check a box off there, but you can set a tone. You can kind of, I would say, silence the noise a bit. We're going to be playing a team the following week in USF that, again, it should be a steamover, a walkover, but they're returning a lot of guys. Don't sleep on no goal shot there in USF. I mean, it's going to be that one is going to be a solid football team that's looking to maybe possibly make a splash. Florida shouldn't have any issues at all, but my point of it is that you don't need to think that these first two games are just walk-ins. Approach week 1 as if it's week 7, week 8, and it's an SEC matchup. That's what I want to see, and I think they will. But I think if you do that, then that should translate to, in my opinion, smothering them. Again, the score doesn't tell an entire story. You'll feel it. You'll see it. You'll know it, right? Again, if plays are being stalled out, if we're not scoring in the red zone, if the play calling gets a little vanilla, no, there's no need for that. I mean, show everything. I understand trick plays and certain things like that, but we know, here's my counter to that. Napier's offense, what has it always been? You and I've always said this. It's not about being like this trick offense that tricks everybody. No, it's about everybody hitting their cues. If everyone hitting their cues, it doesn't matter if you know it's coming. It's going to beat you. That's what makes it so effective, is that when it is on, by golly, boys, you better hang on because you can't get off that roller coaster. You are just in a blender of what's happening because you're like, we know it's coming. They're just beating us to all the spots. And it's maybe coming out a one-on-one guy. Now the talent there is so elite. So my point of that is that there's nothing that we're hiding. We saw the hidden triple reverse play. It didn't work. I don't need any secret sauce. Get Hayden Hansen. Do your little stupid motion, have Eugene come from across the field, Hayden Hansen rotates, pull the guard, and let Jaden Ball go for 90. I know what you're going to do. I just want to see it work time and over and over and over again. And one time you're going to do it, you're going to play action to Jaden Ball, and you're going to have 19 wide receivers that have 4.4 speed to throw it to, okay? That's what this offense is supposed to do. There's nothing to hide. Just execute it at an elite level, and it's going to dominate. As you were, Cody.
Yeah, I agree. So if we have a score of 35-0 and the twos played from 4 minutes left in the first, I think that's success, though, to me.
I don't care if the twos come in. Then it should be the twos should come in and pick up where we left off. You shouldn't even know it's the twos. Listen, we're on the same page. I want to see the twos, the threes, the fours, and everybody. I want coach to call me and you to come in.
Yeah.
That's where I'm all in on that. But
I mean, the best day is we see Spirito get 2 touchdowns because they've got
Spirito's working with the ones. So check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay?
I don't know if he's working with the ones, bud. Okay. He might be working with the twos.
Just say you don't know ball. That's fine. I mean, no one's going to be that's fine. Not a big deal.
Wow.
But yeah, get after it. We'll talk. I mean, look, I'll probably do this rant again when we get closer to the season, but look, it's going to be a sold-out football game. It's going to be 7 o'clock at night. That place is going to be rambunctious. Feed the people. Feed them.
Yeah.
Make them come. I mean, we're all going to come back wanting more, but feed that crowd. Give them a taste of what there's blood in the water, but on that night, we the Sharks. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them know what is to come in the swamp. And I want Billy to go up on the mic and say, you ain't seen nothing yet. And then walk away. I don't even answer any questions. Pay the fine, Billy. He's not going to do any of this. But a boy can dream. A boy can dream.
I mean, he might light it up. It might look like an old Spurrier ball game, fun and gun, just lobbing it around the field. Hey, it could happen. Somebody said that USF took Bama to the fourth quarter was pretty tight. Hey, USF got some talent.
USF's gonna be it's gonna be a ball game. I mean, honestly, I would take if I'm ranking the level of like competition, I would USF Mississippi State be a dogfight. I mean, let's just be what it is. I mean, they're a sound football team that's building up to this moment. They had I don't know what they did last year, but they have obviously every team has their embarrassments, but
they get all the slipped over talent out of Florida. I mean, there's dogs everywhere in that state. You know, they're getting kids from the rural areas, and you know they're doing JUCO route and all kinds of stuff. I think USF is the biggest. If this is a team that's supposed to make the playoffs, like everybody says it is, we should beat USF by 21, and it should look a certain way. It shouldn't look like I can't remember was it Sanford?
They lost to Rice last year. Yeah, we shouldn't lose to them. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Take back
what was the team last year or 2 years ago? It should look a certain type of way. It should look like you are dominating them in all levels and aspects.
That's my point.
I'm not saying that they can't get a sack or they can't have one play here or one play there or a shot play. I'm not saying that.
No, they cannot. They cannot.
No sacks.
I've been watching Car 3s like 4 times in a row because little man's on a burner right now with cars. And when Lightning McQueen has to go to the Crazy 8 and like run around and he's getting chased around and the mosh pit, he like a couple days later he meets up with the old coach, and the coach is like, I heard you ran a little mosh pit. He's like, yeah, it was crazy. He's like, not a scratch on you, Lightning, because he's got that dog in him. Okay, even though he's old, he still is pure. I don't want to scratch on anybody. Yep. You're going to a Crazy 8 roughhouse stadium. You're a firehouse pyro machine who's got 19 piston cups behind you. All right, Billy, lock it the F in. Teasing out, bro. This is bad. We got Lightning McQueen references. Bad. Great movie though. Great movie. I mean,
I've been watching preseason football, just seeing where I got it right and where I got it wrong.
You guys in the Discord got me riled. I had to quit talking to you guys. Like one game plays, and it's like Shador Sanders is going to win the Super Bowl. Cam Ward sucks. Merch is an absolute joke. I'm like, okay, JJ McCarthy's winning the Heisman again, or just for the first time ever. I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we like? If there's one thing that is for certain, it's that preseason tells you absolutely nothing. Like it's a complete waste. I can't stand it. It tells you nothing. I can't tell you. I watch negative preseasons and how many fantasy football championships that I've won. Why are they correlated? Because I know these people. I know these players. I know these teams. I know how they function. Preseason doesn't tell you a damn thing.
Oh yeah, Busch Light's flowing, guys.
Cody's upset. Cody was ready to wrap the whole. If it was up to Cody and he was managing these teams, he would have fired. Yeah, Trask lit it up, and also they had to go.
Made.
What?
Would have been some adjustments made if I was.
Yeah, he would have fired up. He would have a hot streak there on that, but it just the takes are so egregious. We just need football so we can move past it. Terrell Jones was spinning some heads. So according to Keith Napier, shout out guy, has a whole article about practice on 3, but the one little bit that I noticed that was interesting to me was that Harrison Bailey, and it's to who he spoke to, has moved into that second slot. Again, it's still, I think, a battle between everybody, but has slid up into that second spot. And Terrell Jones is not far off from slinging it. Somebody in the comments earlier, I saw it. I think it was a great comparison. I mean, it's hard to have that true comparison yet because it's too early, but said he's kind of a more athletic Chris Leak. just his ability to spin the ball the way that he slings it. But again, he's more mobile. We talked with Chris Lee yesterday, which was an incredible interview. Pinch me. And how he talked about how the offense obviously changed and how he had to adjust to that scheme. But anyways, yeah, it's not a horrible comparison. I think there's a long way to go, but I like comparisons like that. People are like, oh, he's not Chris Lake. It's like, nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. What I found very intriguing was when I asked him, some of the best players he's played with. Like, we've heard it, but it just, every time I hear it, it's like, man, like, it wasn't just us. Like, it's everybody feels that way. He said Percy Harvin, and then Sean Taylor. He said Sean Taylor was the best football player I've ever played against. And so, I mean, hell of company to be around. Obviously, Sean Taylor was somebody that's still, again, like a Percy, just is a legend that when you see that flash and you see those highlights, like, yeah, I put him in the Reggie Bush category. They're like, yeah, those are dudes. those are dudes that you don't play some.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Trammell. I was really hoping he's going to squeeze into the
we can wait.
QB.
I can wait to see Trammell.
Oh, I can't. I'm chomping at the bit. You know me.
No.
If there's a young aspiring quarterback, I want to see him.
No. Look, my wife and I, we have a rule, right? Because it's like with Beckett, it's like, oh, I can't wait till he's this. I can't wait till he's that. That's implying that you're not appreciating where you're at. No. I look forward to seeing Trammell, but I can wait because I want to see DJ Lagway. Like when you say I can't wait, it's like I can't, like you can't stay where you're at right now. You just want to get to that. That's what I'm implying. So you want?
I mean it in the fact
mindset
with the twos.
Oh, from LIU. Okay.
I've seen Aiden Warner. I've seen Harrison Bailey. I honestly
want to see all of them.
Young gunslinger can do.
I want to see all of them in a game time experience, right? I want to see Aiden. I'm excited to see Aiden with a little more polish. I'm excited to see Harrison as well. But yeah, look, I was pumped to read those things about Trammell, just really turning some heads and making some grounds. And again, I think the vibe is very similar. I would say more than Max Brown, because Max Brown turned some heads, but more of just kind of slinging the rock. Jake Slaughter was asked about Trammell Jones, and he goes, look, I'm glad you asked me about it. Like, this young man's a professional, the way that he carries himself. Oh. Did we just get booted? Oh,
no, I think we're still here. We're frozen, though.
Are we?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Yeah,
my whole computer just said offline. But yeah, says he carries himself like a professional, the way that he approaches every asset of the game. And again, I felt that vibe when we interviewed him, when I met him once again at the Dream Homers thing for Florida Victorious. Just the way that he goes about it, he seems like a true professional. And again, when we talk with Chris Leak about it, right? Just how important it is to have that transition, the handoff, if you will, how he handed things off to Tim Tebow, right? Like how important that was to Tim is people don't truly understand that, but that was massive. Mertz for last year for DJ, massive, huge advantage. Quinn for Arch for the last 2 years, way bigger than what people are probably giving it credit for. And I think that DJ coming in where he was mentally, having the ability to work behind Mertz, see how he carried himself as a true professional. Now Trammell is coming in with the same work ethic, same mindset as DJ, but it's going to have 2 years essentially behind that. And again, I think if this transition is like we want it to be, this is how your rotation of quarterback should be. That when Trammell steps in 2 years, right, or would it be in going into his third year, the hype and anticipation is going to be through the roof, similar to Arch with very limited show, just because like this guy has been chomping at the bits to be here. And then right behind him will be Roll Griffin. Again, a lot has to go right. We look forward to all of these things happening, but it's nice to have some cohesion in this quarterback room that hasn't been there, honestly, since Napier's been there, right? We've had too much turnover and people leaving. So, good stuff. You there, Cody? We bothering you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Just let us know when you're ready. We'll find. We'll pause the show.
I was reading for the next fact.
We apologize for interrupting your day. That's on us. That's our bad. That's messed up on us.
The names right
for having a show while you were doing. That's look. If you want to, gonna share with the whole class.
It's about the next topic.
What's the next topic?
It's about
you don't even know where I'm going.
Vet's coming back. The vet's coming back.
All right, take it away.
Hey, listen, boots on the ground. I contacted 2 big time insiders. Shout out to our boy the champ, and then I
You
also
can't
talked
reveal
to.
your sources. They're not sources
Oh,
anymore.
I'm revealing. And then I doubled it up with Cam Parker. Both of them said, both of them. We got a couple elite veterans that have came back to the University of Florida doing some grad stuff and working with some players. And those names are Quincy Wilson, Tez Tabor, and Carlos Dunlap, working with some defensive players. I know it was a shot on Instagram. Cormani McLean was getting some one-on-one stuff with Wilson. I know Tabor was Tabor was working with Cormani. Wilson was shot today on Instagram or Snapchat that he was working with Dijon, and then Carlos Dunlap has been there all year long helping out.
I mean, I love hearing that. I think that's something that Stephen Harris, we've talked about it, and something that he has been adamant about bringing back the culture of Florida and being more a part of that, that rotation. Again, we kind of had a weird gap where that's what you want, is that healthy transition, so people can know what it's like, and just having that extra hands on it. Brandon Spikes was kind of the first one, I feel like, the older players to come back and be a part of the staff. The slow leak of former players being brought into it. Again, that's what I love to see too, is that the buy-in from older players into this regime it feels much greater than it has probably 10 years ago. Again, I don't know. I could be speaking out of topic on that, just given because I wasn't following it as closely. But yeah, I love that. I think that's great stuff, and I love hearing that those guys are back and working with those cornerbacks. Again, those are a lot of big rooms, and so I think there's so much importance of just getting coached by people who played the game. There's a different appreciation, there's a different understanding, and it's never enough, if you will.
Yeah. Also, Hargraves was here within the past couple weeks on a visit. Yeah. VH3.
That's my boy, bro.
I mean, it seems like we talked about it a little bit. I know me and you have definitely talked offline with the champ, and it really feels like there has been a focus by Billy Napier and company to bring these champions back. And rightfully so, because a lot of them had very, very good NFL careers, and a lot of them that might have gotten hurt or whatever and didn't have NFL careers were still elite players at the college level. Why would you not want those guys back, in your program?
I think what gets overlooked, and I try to explain it, and maybe I don't do a good job of it at times, but we, the fans, have an expectation of how this team should be and what it should be doing. That's what we talk about. Like this, This isn't the Florida standard. And what I try to relate is that we as fans know that, believe that, etc. However, the players, the coaches, they don't know that. They haven't been here for the last 30 years. Like, they've heard about it, they've seen the documentaries, but do you truly know what it is and what the standard really is? And maybe you'll get 3 or 4 players that know what it feels like and understand what it means to play for the Florida Gators. Chris Leak last night, like when we talked about it, I go, hey, like, was there ever a thought when Zook left? He goes, no, I committed to the Gators. I didn't care who was coming. I understood when I committed to the Gators and how the level of what I was committing to, that could happen. And so that was never going to be a factor of why I left or wasn't going to be here. I committed to the University of Florida. We've gotten away from that for sure. All schools have. I don't think that's a Florida issue. It's just an issue in general. But how do you trickle some of that in to maintain that culture, right? And look, this is what Bama, I think, will do well with, if that transition, and why they'll carry that scent, if you will, that Saban scent, is because he'll continue to keep his hands intact to it. And I think the longevity of players at the NFL, they'll always go back and touch Bama to an extent to maintain, again, like, this is how we function here. This is what it's like. If you come play here, you operate and function at a different level. And look, we all want to make fun of Diego Pavia for going into Vanderbilt and going on Paul Feinbaum and say, hey, we're going to win championships. And you get laughed at. Well, the problem is that everybody else walked in there thinks they're going to win a championship. They get laughed by everybody, and eventually they start believing, well, we can't win a championship here. So I applaud Diego for having that mindset of like, you can't listen. If you listen to what everybody told you, you probably been playing for quarterback at Vanderbilt in the first place. So you got to have that mindset. It's got to start somewhere. Florida had it. They proved to be that and have gotten away from that over the last 10 years. So I think what they're doing is they showed on the field they can be it. It clicked for them, and now they're starting to trickle it in all the right ways, one day at a time.
Well, and let's not get it twisted. There's the game of pass rushing, down blocking, press man. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed in 20 years. I mean, if you were a dominant press man corner in the 90s, early 2000s, everything you did is still relevant today. Like that hasn't changed. And for those guys to even take some time, I mean, they're very busy people. Let's be real. Probably have kids. They're a lot of them made a bunch of money. They don't have to, but when you're coming back because you're wanted back and it feels like there's something special brewing in Gainesville. I mean, I don't see those guys coming back if this was a 2-10 team every single year. If they were not very good, I could see them just being like, well, it is what it is. But it just feels different in Gainesville right now. It felt different at the spring game. It felt different during the past couple weeks. The lead up this year has felt different. And now we're seeing that all of these players are coming back and actually working with the kids one-on-one. They have years of experience that they can mold into those kids of what these young guys are going to see. They've already seen it. That's why Tom Brady was so good. You couldn't fool him. Like if you took one of those DBs and inserted his brain into Cormani McClain, he's already seen every release package out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those guys played against some killers.
Yeah. Agreed.
Back in the day. Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Julio Jones. They've seen every release known to man.
Yeah, there's small little tidbits, right? Like, and again, I always go compare it to golf. Like small little techniques. I remember, like for sand shots, right? Like people try to get too cute with it and do all these things. People try to complicate the game way too much more than what it is. Yeah. But my coach, or golf coach, who, like, I love the guy, love Coach Mike. He didn't really teach us much about the game. All of us were pretty good at the game, but there were certain things. Like he just drove one day, and I could not hit a sand shot to save my life. And he's like. He comes up, draws a line like an inch behind the ball. This is before internet, guys. So I'm like, oh, gonna YouTube that. And he goes, just hit the line. Like that's what you have to just hit the line. And I like people are like, hey, how do you go to the sand? I have no idea. there's a touch like, hey, how far do you want to go? And I hit the line. That's it. And it's like one of those things where like you know you're not gonna learn that unless somebody who's been there. And then the ability to be able to show me and teach me so I can grasp it, right? Maybe somebody said like was telling me that 100 times, but just didn't show me the right way. Somebody who's played the game and seen multiple different ways can tell you a certain way to make it all click. If anybody was wondering how to hit a good sand shot and you're struggling, you're welcome. Okay, be sure to smash the like button if I did help your sand game today. As of late, I don't go in the sand. I mean, it's just greens and fairways for me. But kids been dialed, boys. I'm on a scary trajectory right now. I'm feeling myself a lot more than I should on the golf course. I'm loving it, loving it.
And I'll say this: it's what I like about it is so obviously with helping out with the Little League team, you know, seeing those kids, you teach them one thing and it works so well. So like our cornerbacks were getting just absolutely burnt. All I told them is, you know, hey, when they start running by you, hook that hip with your right hand. If you always touch them, you can't get burnt. You're always in a hand. Just keep touching them. As long as you can touch them, you're right there. They batted 5 balls down this week just because they were always touching them. It's little stuff like that you learn as a little leaguer that sometimes you can forget, even at some of the highest levels. And those guys come in and say, "Hey, why aren't you touching this guy's hip? Why aren't you hooking them around the hip? That the ref ain't going to be able to see it. They ain't gonna." It's like Richard Sherman used to say, they ain't going to call a PI on every play. I'm going to be as aggressive as I can.
Yeah, no, agreed. And get annoying. Be that bzzz, that nah, right? Cody's a pro at that. I saw someone say Pavier fatigue. Look, I think there's a little bit of it. It feels like they wanted to be that Manziel-esque type. Well, what made Johnny so unique and so mystical, which is just kind of everything back in the day, was the limited access we had. Like, we created our own stories in our head. And so sometimes a personality, like myself included, I'm great in doses. If you hung out with me every day, you probably wouldn't like me either, right? Like, that's just kind of the way that it is. And now we got a full, like, 3 episodes of Diego on Netflix, and now he's all over our TV screens. And it's like, yeah, I agree. It's a little fatigue of like, okay, it was cool and fun, but now it's like, all right, dude, like, let's just go away for a bit and then come back. And if you start cooking again, then we're going to listen. But it's like, you're trying to ride off this high, like, because it's almost like we didn't do it with Manziel. We don't want to miss this moment. Manziel was special, boys. Okay? But, I love Manziel. What's my handicap? I don't know, man. That's the handicap conversation. I feel like, maybe because in high school we didn't talk about handicap at all. Like, it was never really a conversation. Just like, hey, what did you shoot? Like, I don't know. Maybe I was just in a different world. I couldn't tell you. I know that some of the good guys that played on like the FGAA and stuff like that, or the USGA, they had a handicap because you had to be. I only played in high school. That was it. I didn't play like in these big tournaments to where I had to have a handicap. So I truly didn't know about have one until I was in my late 20s and I wanted to go play on Grint Tour. So then I went and got a handicap. When I was playing golf and I got a handicap, I got down to a 2. That's where I was. To me, like, it's all putting. Like, if I felt like recently I could get it dialed in. But again, that's not like, I don't like the thing with the handicap now, because I see with like rigs and all these people like, I'm a 4, I'm a 6, I'm a 7. It's like, dude, part of your handicap is where you play. Like, there's just so much to it. I can play golf. I can sling it. I can shoot 72. I can shoot 79. Like, I break 80 in most days, but I'll shoot in the 80s every now and then. But I've been playing for a long time, so that's part of it too.
If I shoot in the 80s, boys, I'm cracking all the Busch lattes. I'm having a party. I shot like an 86 or 84 the other day, and I got a compliment on my swing from old Big Dad Shelton himself. I was on. Hey, you would thought I just won a jacket, okay? I thought I was Timothy, okay?
Yeah, if I consistently shot in the 80s, if I shoot in the 80s, I'm pretty pissed. I'm pretty frustrated. It depends, because I didn't putt well. But I was probably we got rained out. But I was dialed. I think I was like 1 over. I think going into like the back, 1 or 2. So I was on pace for like probably like a 77. But I putted like doo doo. So, yeah, I was having fun. It's good. Yeah, listen, David, I would love to do a segment where I golf with former players. Like, I've pitched this, I've thrown this thing around. Like, this has been an idea that I've tried to get off the ground. I think he would crush, without a doubt. Dan said it from Stadium Miguel, said he shot at 82 yesterday. Rough go off in the middle, but we battled back. 82 solid round, boys. Solid round. That's the thing too, is like people are like, oh, you shot at 82, like you're not a 2 or 3 handicap. Yeah, you are. Like 82s are part of those things. I don't know what Dan is. Dan, what are you, Dan?
I shot that mid 80s on my home course that I played 100 times, and I was excited.
Mid 80s is
that's another thing.
Great golf.
That's another thing too. Is some of the courses will lean you, like, if you play it a lot, you can figure it out. You know what I mean? You can steal some shots. You know where to go.
You're more confident on the tee because you know where the miss is, and you're like, okay, like my home course, like I know. So he's like a 6.3, 6.5. Yeah, that's solid. I mean, that's probably where I'm
that's really good
at now, to be honest with you, just because I haven't played. The way I've been playing as of like last couple of rounds, I've been shooting out of my mind. But I gotta maintain it. That's my biggest thing. But I got the ability. I got to stick when I want it, which it's fun. I feel like I'm back to where I was a couple of years ago, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, 85 is a healthy round, especially because I just know the biggest thing between me and like an 85 consistently is you probably had an 8 or a 9 on a hole, or a 7, right? Like I don't. That's, again, these are things that I rarely get 6s. If I do get it, I mean
7.
If I get a double on an 18, like, what do we? And I got a double when I hit a hole in 1, which is pretty funny. But yeah, like 7 8s. Like if I got a 7 or an 8, like shoot me. What happened?
Yeah.
that's kind of where the biggest thing is. It's not that like I mean, you guys can all hit the ball. It's just golf management. That's it. Sorry, we're talking golf, boys.
We're talking golf. You want to segue into that little bit that we have about Billy Napier keeping the kid on scholarship? Love that.
Yeah, really cool. I saw bits and pieces of it. What was his name? Dakota? I have a bookmark here.
Mitchell?
Oh, yeah, Dakota Mitchell. Yeah, there we go. I guess he had to medically retire, and Nape kept him on scholarship to allow him to graduate and stay in school, which was really cool.
I think that's something that's a win in the recruiting aspect. Listen, you can have a freak accident. It doesn't matter if you're the most elite athlete in the world. One bad shot and it's over. You can be done. A bad concussion or a knee or a back or what have you. And for Billy Napier to keep him on scholarship and use a very valuable roster spot on a kid that's not playing just so he can graduate that shows parents that he is more caring than what a normal coach does. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that there's some coaches out there in the SEC that does that keeps him on.
I think there's probably a handful for sure, but it's one of those that comment of like it's a stat that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, right?
Yeah,
you won't hear about. Too
where
often.
it does show up. It shows up in recruits' houses when you're in there pitching for a 5-star recruit, and they see that. And listen, parents,
for sure.
The more that's been talked about, these parents that are, have these athletes, that it's going to go in the brain, just like the Gator Made program. It's one of those things where that's the stuff they care about. Hey, if my kid gets injured, is he going to be able to finish school on a scholarship? Maybe we can't afford for him to go to University of Florida. If they're not making that kind of money, what are you going to do for them?
Agreed. No, agreed. I think again, it's something that'll definitely move needles, and again, a stat that doesn't show up on the stat sheet for sure. But real quick, Darius Clucker. Sean, I love the show. USC versus Florida in the SEC champion seem possible. Thoughts? I mean, definitely seems possible, just given the fact. Look, both teams were favored. I think 5 and 6 for the SEC. They don't play each other. I like LSU or USC's schedule a lot. I think we did their breakdown. What we have them going 9-3, 10-2 when we broke it down.
9-3, 10-2.
It's
They're right
tough
there,
because
baby.
USC sometimes beamer balls, but I think I like their schedule. We kind of looked at some of the games last year that they could have won, and we circled that. Hey, we think they can win them this year. I like USC a lot. I think they bring back a lot of talent, and obviously I think Florida's got a great chance to be there as well too. It'll be interesting to see. Could we see like a Big 12 situation last year where there's like 4 teams fighting for it? It'll be interesting.
And I think it's all possible for South Carolina because of the quarterback too. Not necessarily their quarterback one. Yeah, he's great, but he's a very mobile guy, and he got his ankle twisted up last year, and they weren't very good at quarterback too. Well, they went out and they have Aaron Nolan now, a kid that I'm very high on. And I think that could come in and win you 1 game or 2 games in the SEC. He's young, but he's very talented, and I don't think you miss like what you missed that when their quarterback went down. The quarterback play went off a cliff. You know what I mean? And that's not what you want to see. And this is the most violent sport in the world. It's the best sport in the world, but it's the most violent. And just like in Little League, guys go down, and you got to throw a guy in at guard that may not fit the narrative, but if he's a dog, he's a dog. And I think that they got a dog in Aaron Nolan. I think that helps their chances in the long run.
Very healthy quarterback room, to say the least, at USC. So look, I'm excited to see them play. I'm excited to see the entire SEC. I'm excited for football in general. But boys and girls, great show. We'll see you tomorrow with Stephen Harris live at 8:05 on Monday. We should have a presser tomorrow that we'll go over, and the AP poll drops tomorrow. So the official rankings drop tomorrow. We'll get a great understanding of where Florida stands. We've talked about it. I've expressed my opinions of why I feel it's more important than it has been in years, because if you can start a little bit of ahead, you've got a little more of a leash. How they view you in a different light plays a factor, in my opinion, this year, and can go a long way into making that 12-team playoff at the end of the season. So we'll be talking about all of those things tomorrow. If you haven't seen the Chris Leak interview we posted yesterday, you got to check it out. It's fantastic. Great stories, great insights, and his relationship with Tim Tebow, Urban Meyer, Gives our guy Stephen Harris some love. A lot of great information there. If you love just Gator football, go get you some. Also, don't forget to check out the store, hightopsport.com/shop, or just go to the main site and click the shop button to get yourself some gear. The Beat LSU shirt is up. Beat LIU shirt is up as well. Beyond pumped for how they look, boys and girls. They're on the front, and they look sick. So we'll be repping them that game. But y'all be good. I love y'all. Cody the Professor, dialed in. We'll see you live tomorrow morning as well for our college football show if you guys want to tune in for that. Y'all be good, baby. Peace and love.